So today is Tuesday, February 10th, and funny thing happened yesterday is that after my trailer was finished in Kitchener, I started driving. All of a sudden I see check engine light on the dash in the truck. I tried to restart the engine a couple of times, so I had to drop the trailer in my parking area and take the truck back to the dealer, because I'm supposed to do this heavy load on Thursday, and I wanted to do a quick tire check, like tire pressure check on both the truck and trailer. What is it, 26 tires, and now this. So I left the truck in there because actually I was supposed to pick up that cab of the excavator, actually I think today, Tuesday, and so that's why I was waiting there for the truck to be finished. But I just wanted them to hook up their computer. Just usually it's some stupid thing, I got the little tap there at the bottom of a fuel filter, and I drain it. There's always just fuel coming out of there, but they say that you still have to drain it, because if there's water there, it can throw that light on the dash, because on my maintenance says check fuel filter. I just did the oil change recently, right? But anyway, and I'm staying at a hotel for a couple of days, so that load got pushed till Thursday. So I left the truck there, went to the hotel, and I called them this morning. I said, if the truck's ready, and they said yeah. So I go down there and I said, so what was it? And they look at the piece of paper that the mechanic left, and there was some kind of a software glitch, basically software error. They said because of cold, like a computer, right? If you leave your computer outside for a very long time, sometimes it'll have a problem starting. So because the truck works in such extreme temperatures, and quite a few times it was almost minus 20 Celsius, which I cannot tell you how much is that in Fahrenheit, but it's very cold. I know minus 40 Celsius is the same as minus 40 F, right? So minus 20 would be, I'm just guessing, so zero Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, I think it's 0 Fahrenheit. That's what it is. Close to zero. I mean, minus 5 F. And so they had to update the ECM, and they said the factory issued a recall for this, and there was a new version of my ECM software. Cool. So they uploaded that, and I said, how much do I owe you? They said, oh no, nothing, it's a warranty thing. So that's the words you want to hear, right? When a repair is done under warranty. And the best thing yet is that I got an updated version of the ECM system software, which is really important. And the truck drives better, or is it just my feeling? But I noticed that after I reached 17,700 miles, which is about what, 30,000 kilometers, the truck kind of like woke up, and I still had those occasional thoughts about changing the axle ratio, but forget it. Now the truck drives pretty good, and I don't do these super heavy loads every day. Just the other day, right, I was driving back from Sarnia, and I set the cruise at 100 kilometers an hour, really modest by other guys' standards, but for me that's like pretty good. And the truck chugs along, just flies 100k an hour, 62.15 miles per hour. And I was thinking, wait a second, so if I change now to 410, the RPM would be too high, right? So you change that, then you're stuck with that low speed all the time, whereas this time, this way with 3.91, I can go fast, well, relatively fast, I can go slow. Oh, and then I met one guy, another fan. I was at the rest area, on 401, and some guy comes over and shakes my hand, and he says he watches my movies, and he's Canadian, and he says the company he works for, they use the same Macks like mine, and they pull those dumpster trailers, like they move garbage, and it says they have like 40 tons in there. So just the payload is basically 90,000 pounds. And he says they use the same Mack, so the same small engine, 13 liter. And he says the axle ratio is 391. And he says they pull pretty good, you know. But of course, you need to keep the RPM higher. Oh, and so one more thing. So I'm sitting, I'm relaxing. My phone rings and my dispatch says, we got a, you ready to work? I said, well, not exactly. I thought I was off the hook till Thursday, right? And the guy said they had some kind of like a local run, just pick up a cat excavator and deliver somewhere locally. I said, hey, I can never say no to an excavator. You know, I love excavators. But then it fell through, so I just went to the tire place where I usually go in Cambridge and had them check all the tires. Now these guys check 26 tires, and so now I have, like, I'm all ready for that heavy haul. Because, you know, when the temperature goes up and down, you gotta keep an eye on your tires. And 26 tires, I don't know, it would take me at least an hour. Like, these guys charge me 45 bucks. I think they charge like $1.50 per tire, you know. So I don't know why this rubs. I don't know why this rubs some people the wrong way. Like, what's wrong with paying for the service? You know, it's either me climbing, you know, around the truck. You know, if it was 4 tires, I understand. Like on this pickup truck, right? 4 tires, I do it myself, right? What's the point? You go, you pay like $2 at the pump that has the same pressure. But on the truck, my trailer axles require, the tires on the trailer require 120 psi. The front axle, the steer axle, because it's a 14.6 axle and it has a 12R 22.5 tires, requires 120 psi. My pusher axle requires 120 psi, and the only relatively standard pressure is on my drive axles. Another 8 tires, that's 105. So, you know, you need to carry either hose on your truck, and they don't work that well, because you gotta, you know, keep an eye on the pressure, because the compressor does not work all the time, right? Once the pressure reaches that 120 whatever, it stops pumping. So you have to get rid of that pressure to start the compressor again. So I mean, don't get me started. I tried all this BS, you know. It's cheaper just to go pay 40 bucks. Jesus, the guy took maybe 30 minutes to check everything. So, oh, and that Cat 320, it fell through this local run. So now I'm just basically sitting till Thursday, and I totally for it. I'm not against it. And I'm still waiting for my test unit, the Papago camera, dash cam. See, now I moved this one in here, right, in my pickup truck, and so this is that 3:30. Look at the day today. Gorgeous. Blue sky, everything is melting, -4 Celsius, what is it, like 25 F. And that's our Freeway 401 in there. No accidents. Even the snow starts melting. So quite soon we're gonna look like Australia. Here we got puddles, right? The spring is in the air. Well, of course I don't think so. It's very treacherous. February and March can be really bad in Canada, you know? Like in Russia we say "Пришел марток, поддевай порток," which means you gotta wear an extra pair of pants in March because the weather is so unpredictable. See the snow? See the snow getting black? That's a good sign. That means that it's getting warm. And some guy is sitting here in a 5-ton truck. See, by the way, that's how my career started as a trucker. I drove a truck like this. I was doing deliveries. Like this guy is doing lubricants, so he delivers to probably to various clients. He has probably some stuff in the back there. But I was delivering, you know, whatever you can buy at a gas station, like cigarettes, you know, drinks, stuff like that. It was all manual labor, all manual unloading, and people were always ungrateful, and you had to basically stock them inside the store, not just unload them at the front door, but they say, okay, this goes in there, this goes in the cooler, this goes here. No thank you, no please, no nothing. But it paid, I think it paid like 17 bucks an hour to drive a 5-ton truck. But that's when I had a DZ or DZ license, like our CDL but that one only allows you basically to drive a truck like this. You cannot drive a tractor trailer. And then I got my AZ and started driving these pulling these monster trailers. Alright, so I just called my post office where I have a mailbox. I said, do I have a package? And they said, yeah, you have a package. So let's go check and see maybe if it's a package from California with that Papago 520. Then I'll do a review today. A local cat has a big mine truck up front on display. I hope one day I'll be able to carry this monster in my trailer. These are, I think they should be under 60,000 pounds. And my gut was right. I did receive the my testing unit, Papago 520, sent to me by the company to do a review. So review is coming next.